AITA for not letting my husband fly to another country to help during a family emergency. My Phil is old and unwell. So now whenever there is an issue my in-laws look towards my husband, oldest son, to solve them. It's not just his immediate family either. His entire extended family also expect the same thing. It would be fine if we lived in the same country, but we don't, so my husband often has to fly away. Just to solve an issue someone else could have fixed, or to play family judge, jury and executioner. The latest issues are the consequences of a series of bad decisions made by my Bill finally catching up to him. He got someone that isn't his wife pregnant and she's threatening to blow his life up, and he got involved in a bad crowd and is now struggling to get out. My Mill called my husband to ask him to come and fix things. He told me and was planning to leave immediately, but I asked him not to go. I don't want to be left alone right now, and my Bill is a big boy who knew what he was doing and can do just as much as my husband can to fix things. I started crying when I asked him not to go, and he ended up staying. A few days later, my Bill called me to beg me to let my husband come because he desperately needed his help and that it was time-sensitive emergency. I told him no, and he said I was being selfish and that as family we should help each other during a crisis. Now, he's angry at me. My Mill also asked me to reconsider because the situation was causing stress for my Phil, and having my husband there would help ease his worry. Although he hasn't said anything, my husband also clearly wants to go. He's on the phone constantly with his family and is trying to solve things from here, but is very clearly frustrated that he can't do more, that he isn't there. AITA? Info. What do they expect your husband to do about his brother's self-inflicted social, marital issues? Info. What exactly is your husband supposed to do to get a grown man out of a pregnancy and cheating scandal in a bad crowd? Is he the only person able to resolve this due to some special skill or circumstance? Edit. NTA. Convincing someone to have an abortion against their will makes someone awe. She might not be evil and is only threatening to blow up his life. I.e., tell his wife about the affair and baby, I'm assuming? Because he is trying to force her to abort a baby he 50% made. If the wife doesn't know yet. The bill is the definition of, well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. He needs to figure it out alone. It is normal to help fix family problems. But it is not normal to get involved in someone else's pregnancy and bad crowd while they have a wife and baby at home. What happens if Op's husband gets hurt and he has a wife and kid? What if baby gets sick while husband is away? How is Op's newborn going to grow up with his dad off and away facing consequences of other people's problems? How does this affect their livelihood and marriage? This isn't a normal family dynamic. The family needs to stop leaning on him for everything. Everyone feels okay asking Op's husband to solve the problems because they aren't giving anything up themselves. Only he and his wife and newborn are. They're asking for too much. It is unusual to ask someone to put Bill's well-being above his own. Does Bill's wife know about all this? Because that's a shady-ass family if they are hiding it from her. Bill is an idiot and doesn't want to take care of the mess he made. He needs to grow up and stop relying on this weird toxic family behavior. NTA Op. But your husband needs to talk to his SIL and be a decent human being. Or you. Info. What is your husband supposed to with this mistress and baby? Pay them off? Disappear them? NTA. You have a newborn at home and your husband wants to leave the country while we're all still struggling through a pandemic. His brother made his choices and he can be an adult and fix them. Your husband should be worried about his immediate family, which is you and his new child. He can't keep supporting his extended family. NTA. Op has a newborn. More than reasonable to ask her husband not to go. Even without that, I think it is perfectly reasonable to ask your husband not to drop everything and fly internationally during a global pandemic every time there's some family drama. Since this apparently happens rather frequently, I think it's crazy that the family would ask this of the husband. Also, who is expected to pay for all these flights? And lastly, what could he even do? His brother got a mistress pregnant. Literally, what could this husband possibly do? Gift the husband's family a Zoom subscription for the holidays and call it even. Info. Honestly, the amount of crucial information that was left out of this post is ludicrous. WTF op. To sum up what I've found, OP's husband returned to his country fairly often. Just this year, he went 5 different times. They have a newborn. What I believe is a vital piece of knowledge to make this judgment. Husband did not resist, or fought op when she asked him not go. Husband is supposed to convince the pregnant woman to get an abortion. Husband knows someone from the bad crowd. In the end, I don't know. This whole story smells hella fishy, and I believe that knowing the cultural background would have great impact on how this situation can be dealt with, as well as knowing how long this trips generally take. Op. I get that English might not be your native language. It isn't mine either. But you need to properly convey information. Or at least try to, if you want us to make a proper judgment on your case. For me, it seems a lot of info was deliberately left out. NTA. The brother-in-law got himself into trouble. It seems that the people involved may be dangerous. There's no reason that your husband should get involved in this mess. NTA. What I find confusing is exactly what is he expected to do? Is he paying people off? Beating the crap out of them? What? Is there a huge time difference? Also, international flights aren't cheap. Who's paying for the flights? NTA. I love that he is calling you guys selfish. He is the one who decided to roll with the wrong crowd. He is the one who got another girl pregnant. He is the one who cannot deal with the consequences of his own actions and wants his brother to come and deal with all the trouble he caused in order to bail him out from the consequences he brought upon himself. Then he has the audacity to say you are selfish. What a joke. While I understand not being close geographically can make it difficult, but your husband has to make a decision. Does he want to be the one to be responsible for his brother's decisions? Or does he want to be loyal to you and your kids? His brother is a big boy who made big boy decisions and now should have to live with his big boy consequences. The family seems to enable this since they feel your husband should come fix things. It is time for a discussion about enabling this childish brother. I feel like you married into the mob. NTA. To drop your life and fly international on a whim for something is that isn't a medical emergency. Is ridiculous and excessive. He shoulda stayed single or moved back home if he wanted to be that involved. But he didn't. So that's on him. Good luck, op. NTA. At least your husband is putting you first. Bill made his bed. He needs to lay in it. How does that family grow up and being functioning unless made to fix own problems? You are supposed to come first as his wife. NTA. There is nothing your husband can do about this anyways. Like, what do they expect him to help with? Bill needs to take responsibility for his own actions, period. Your husband can't go back in time and make him uncheat or make his mistress unpregnant. He can't make his wife stay with him or his mistress abort. He has zero power over how these two women react to his shitty brother, so there is nothing for him to do at all but tell his brother to grow the fuck up and take responsibility for his own shitty choices. NTA. His family is ridiculous. I don't care which culture they're from. Why does a grown-ass man need his brother to come and fix his sexual affairs? Bill put himself in that situation. I can almost guarantee that your husband was going to have to start helping someone financially after that visit. NTA. In some cultures, this is normal. But his family is you first. And if you have children, and then everyone else. Your Bill is a big boy who got him into whatever mess he got himself into, and now he has to find his way out like everyone else. NTA. And we really need to know how your husband is going to fix thimsies. Maybe executioner wasn't a figure of speech? I'm actually very concerned about how your husband wants to go fix the issue of his brother's infidelity. How is he going to cover it up? Is that where his ideals are? That a cheater should call in the family to cover things up? I don't have a clue as to what he can do to fix this problem, TBH, and it's really concerning behavior if he was going to do something shady or a cover-up. NTA. Info. Exactly how often is often? I ask BC. It would be different if it's the second time he want to go home to sort some shit out, or it's the 27th time. Info. What is his family's culture? As in, is this a typical and considered normal request? And how far is the travel?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.